Hi, hello and welcome. The cuckoo clock starting the show.
We're not going to have any fun. Everybody should just tune out now.
No, please stay serious because we'll be laughing for everybody else. Welcome, lovely, beautiful, sexy, amazing Patty and Alfonso, straight from Puerto Rico. You have to say it with the R, because otherwise it doesn't work, right? And Gosia Lorenz, straight from California. Here we are talking about bodies, about yumminess of the bodies, sexualness of the bodies, the energy that our bodies would actually like to be, and very often we don't let them be or allow them to be. So, howdy.
Hi, Gosia. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. For everyone who's watching, I'm really excited that you're watching this today and into the future. Yeah, yumminess, bodies, sexualness. Wow, there's so many things we could chat about. And I guess I want to just kind of throw it back to you and see, what are your questions about the things that we want to cover? If you could get anything out of these 30 minutes of this hangout, what would that be? And let's see where we go from there.
So, to be honest with you, this pole dancing for consciousness had been poking me for years, and it always was some faraway places where just, or time that wouldn't work, and just, what is this thing? What is this thing? They all look so happy and amazing and dancing, and how can you put dancing and pole dancing with consciousness together? That was the, the craziest thing for me. Yet I knew there was something to it that's really attractive and alluring. So finally I asked you, would you come? Please, would you come to Orange County, where I moved recently, not so recently anymore, to do a class if you're around? And you said yes. So I've been excited ever since. And I still really don't know what we're going to do in this day with pole dancing of consciousness, for consciousness, with consciousness, about consciousness. So
I love it.
What is it that you do in those classes where you merge pole dancing and consciousness? It's, yes, first time I've seen anything that bizarre and that amazing, that inviting.
I love it. I didn't create anything different at all from anything that's out there in the world. It's actually, it's like my little baby that I created, because these are the two things in my life that have been such a huge contribution to me in unlocking my body and really opening up to all of the different energies that are available. I started pole dancing about 4 years ago now. And I chose it, I was looking for like belly dancing classes, right? And my friend and I showed up at this place where there were supposed to be belly dancing classes, because I thought that's what I would try out for movement. And we got there and there were no belly dancing classes, but there was this pole dancing studio, and my body just like lit up, like, yes. And I was like, okay, right? So I just followed the energy to what my body was saying. This is what I would like to do. And I wish that I could say that I was like, oh, pole dancing and all the judgments, but like, I didn't really care. I knew that it was what my body wanted and desired. And so I chose it, and it completely changed the way I be with my body. It completely changed the way I move in the world. And it started opening up my body in a way that I had just shut down my body for so long. I had put up so many walls and so many barriers because of everything that had happened to me in my life. And that knowing that I was missing something, that I was missing an energy that I knew was available, is what led me to pole dancing. And then about a year or so into pole dancing, I found Access Consciousness. And so then when I started to use the tools of Access in my classes, right, just for me, just for fun, and I started using the tools in my classes, and then my body started opening up even more. And there was, my teacher was like, what are you, like, what, you've changed, like, what is happening? And I just was like beaming, you know, because this combination of two things that I absolutely adore in my life that bring me so much joy and so much pleasure, we're now creating something bigger than I could have ever even imagined. So that's kind of how pole dancing for consciousness was born. And it's using like the magic of the pole, the energy, the contribution that the pole can be to you, to your body, using that to unlock all of the places where we have shut down. For whatever reason, everyone has their own story, you know, and what if that story wasn't relevant? What contribution could the pole be to you? And anything that doesn't allow that to show up, you know, let's destroy it and create it. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds, because the pole itself is demanding more consciousness around it. I mean, what would the world be like if every woman just totally awakened, embodied, unlocked, and unleashed their absolute most phenomenal magnificence into the world? How different would this world be if we all really chose that and claimed that? So yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you. And you know, I didn't know any of it actually. So I'm so grateful that we're actually doing it.
Yeah.
You were talking, and I could perceive that whatever we're doing in our life, when we add the tools of access consciousness, it really creates a completely different effect, reality, possibility, and opens us up to so much more than just following the whatever school of thought it is or whatever movement it is. So I could see how those two could work together. And we have so many judgments of the bodies. I work with so many people with just incredible judgment and beautiful people, beautiful bodies, beautiful, amazing beings that just never stop judging those bodies. And I always feel so sad and so sorry for those poor bodies, because they're just like craving this recognition and being acknowledged for what they're capable of and how much they could give to the owner of the body. And this is the energy I've been looking for. This class seems like this is it. And one question I have is, you were talking about the lockdown in the description of the class, which it is described, but I really would love for you to explain it or show us more what it is, what's occurring, because I'm getting that probably every woman on this planet, or maybe 99% of the women on the planet, and men as well, because it's not only for women, have that occurring in their body, because we just are not taught to care for our bodies and honor and adore our bodies.
Yeah, I love everything that you're saying. And yes, you are right on. So let's take what you were saying as an example. Every time we judge our bodies, we are creating that sort of shutdown. These amazing, beautiful bodies that have their own consciousness, right? That can contribute to your life in a way beyond anything that you could have thought was possible. And so we start judging our bodies and we start overriding our bodies' choices for what it would like to wear or what it would like to eat or what it would like to choose or what it would like to be. And when you override them, that's a choice as well. And no judgment on that choice either. And you're totally neglecting your body's consciousness. One of the things that I love about access and combining it with pole dancing is that you are literally inviting your body into that journey of consciousness. And pole dancing for consciousness is different than any other pole dancing class in the sense that we really, it's not about how many tricks you do or what tricks you can do. And we do invite the body into that. It is about tuning in with your body and opening that line of communication, that communion with your body. How does your body want to move right now? What would your body like to do with the pole? I can't tell you, there's so many times where I have like shown a trick in the class, you know, a pole trick, that's what we call them. And well, first of all, I ask the person's body, like, okay, what would you like to do? And it kind of somehow gives me a picture. And so I show the trick and the body's like, yes, that's what I would like. And the being is like, no, I can't do that. That's too hard. There's no way, blah, blah, blah. And then all these, you know, reasons and justifications for why they can't do it, all the judgments that I'm not strong enough, and my body would never be that way. And so then we start clearing away and pocking and potting, the clearing statement, everything that stands in the way of allowing their body to move the way that it would like to move. And I have yet to find someone who cannot do the trick that their body is asking them for. So it's an amazing workout, right? Pole dancing. And it's so much more beyond that. It's kind of been turned into a sport from what I see from my point of view. And I really want to bring back the energy of sensualness and the energy of sexualness that can be awakened when we play with the pole and do the warm-ups. It's a slow, easy, delicious warm-up with lots of stretching and lots of, I'm going to say it, lots of caressing of your own body. I mean, like when you touch your skin, the energy, the sensations that can be created, the sensations that can be awakened, it's a doorway to open that communion, that communication with your body, and that invitation to more that we all know is possible. If you ask your body, what would my life be like if I chose this class? You'll know. And hey, what would your life be like if you chose a pole dancing for consciousness class, or another pole dancing class, or an access class, or whatever is going to create more for you and for the world and for consciousness? Like, let's choose it.
Wow, I just want to do it now. Yesterday.
Yeah.
For this class. So you're saying that regardless of if somebody has a great experience with pole dancing and they're already doing it and practicing it and or tried it many times before, or somebody who's never tried before, like me, I just saw the pole and stood next to it on the bus, I think, in Poland, long time ago. That was my pole experience. And I can still do just fine because my body will know what it actually desires and can have fun either way.
We are going to the best of our ability in those 10 seconds, tune in to the consciousness and the awareness of your body and awaken that and begin the embodiment of that so that it is a contribution to you. My life totally changed after I started pole dancing. There was an energy that I was accessing in the classes, and it was a journey. It was an energy that I opened the door and I had to keep stepping through it, right? There was an energy that was being accessed that started sort of showing up in my everyday life. So it's a beginning, right? And I have many more classes that are like asking to be created, right? So it's a beginning, it's a doorway into a new possibility with your body. And I'm so excited and I'm so happy that it's coming to fruition. It's something that I've been aware of for a long time. And I get that it's not for everyone, and that's cool. Right? I'm going to choose it anyway and create it anyway. And whoever wants to come for the ride, I would love for you to join us. And if now is not the time for you, then that's okay too. I'm not going anywhere.
No, please don't. Please don't.
No. And we have fun. It's fun. It is so much fun. Oh, I can't even tell you. I'm so excited. It's beyond anything you could possibly ever imagine. I promise.
That sounds so amazing. And could you actually, what's coming to me, could you say a few words to maybe a male part of our audience that is thinking about it, but no. As a man, I probably shouldn't even go close to that place. But I saw guys in your classes. I saw the pictures and they took it and they had amazing experiences. And they wrote testimonials. So
yeah.
Say something about it, like how a guy could use a pole dancing for consciousness.
You know what? we're talking about energy. It's energy, male or female. That's, distinctions of this reality. And I'm always asking questions like, what contribution could men be to this work? What contribution could this work be to men? The energy of sensualness and sexualness, the energy of caring and healing. I mean, we all have that available to us, and it has been shut down in men just as much as it's been shut down in women. And, we choose that. We choose to shut down. And whatever men are ready to like awaken that energy in themselves, I actually really enjoy watching men on the pole. There is a different energy that shows up that is also a huge contribution. I think it's really hot. And so, yeah, men are totally invited. And what creation can we be, with men and women in the classes? The guys that came to my classes before, they loved it. They loved like everything. They loved the movements. They loved the dancing. They loved being in the room with women. They loved, sharing with each other, and they put their own little spin on it. And how does it get better than that? It's definitely open to anyone that would like to show up. And I just am always looking for what contribution that can be to all of us. So yeah, they had so much fun. It was awesome.
So great. And when you're talking about it, I keep hearing magic. It's magical. Is it the magic of bodies? Is it the magic of who we are being, what we are being, what we could create in the world with this, through this fusion and communion of the being and the body, and body stepping into its own sexualness and sensualness and lack of judgment. This judgment is really something that destroys so much on the planet, and it destroys us. So what would it take for everyone who is choosing this class now or in the future, or any other access class for it's the same, like got out of the judgment of themselves? Because for me, this is always like the highest priority for a target for everything I'm creating, like getting people out of the judgment of themselves. Recognize how wonderful they are.
Totally. And it is about magic. And like, I'm so grateful to Gary Douglas, who is the founder of Access Consciousness, and Dane here, who is the co-creator. And when you're in the presence of these guys who absolutely do not do judgment, right? They just don't, right? They've been doing Access for years and 20 years or whatnot. And when you're in the presence of them, like, your body just melts. When there is no judgment, there is so much space for you to really show up and for you to really be you. And so, yeah, judgment, it's a killer. It's a killer of energy. It's a killer of receiving. It's a killer of joy. It's just it's just no fun. And when you're in the presence of people who don't do it, then you can really see the difference of energy. And in the pole dancing for consciousness class, man, there is no right or wrong. There isn't. Because if your body is saying yes and choosing it, and you would like to go with that, that's awesome. And if you would like to not so much, not right now, that's awesome too. Because you know what? That opens the door to another possibility. So yeah, I mean, in the classes, there is no room for judgment. We do a lot of clearing about the judgments of bodies, the judgments of yourselves, judgments of what you look like, and all of that. Anything that comes up in the class, right? We definitely address and clear, and it's really wonderful.
It is wonderful. And we're talking, we're teasing. We have been teasing for the last 20 minutes now about how magical and amazing these events are. So the class that I am hosting in Orange County will be held in Brea on April 26th is Sunday, and it's an all-day class. We have an intro part, and then we have afternoon session with a little lunch break in between. So you're invited, but I saw that you also will do a class in Colorado. And what for that?
You broke up there. What was that?
What is the date or the dates for the Colorado
So
class?
in Colorado, it's April 17th. And 18th. And like you said, in Brea, it's April 26th. There's also the free video series. If everyone is curious and they would like to get some more information right now, there is a free video series on poledancingforconsciousness.com. So that'll get you started. And I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I actually created for now, I'm going to call it a warm-up video, and it's a 30-minute sample of the warm-up that we usually do in the classes. And anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it right now, but stay tuned for that because it's really awesome, and I'm really excited about it. And that'll be another way which people can sort of connect to this work if they can't get to a class or are just curious and want to know a little bit more. So, yay!
And there were some goodies you also talked about.
Oh. The goodies, yeah. So there's the intro, and then after the intro is the full day class. And if you know that this is what your body is choosing and what is going to be a contribution for you, as a sign-up bonus for registering for the full day, you get a 30-minute session with me, either before or after the class. It's a private Skype session. And then you also get a Unleashing Your Magnificence clearing loop, which is a loop of access consciousness clearings that I created that are my favorite, that have just really facilitated a lot of change for me over the years. And so there's those two little sign-up bonuses.
That is so generous of you and so amazing. It really is.
And if they want to register for the class, the URL for that is Pole Dancing for Consciousness and then /your invitation, and you'll get some more information on that as well. So,
oh, great! Thank you for that. So, just my word I would say for everyone who is looking at that and not sure about that, or you have maybe friends that you would like to do it with, what if you could trust your body in its hers or his choices? So would you be willing to ask your body if your body would like to be in this class, even if your head is like, no, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna dance, I'm not sexy enough, I'm not beautiful enough, skinny enough, flexible enough, whatever enough it is that you are not in your head? Please ask your body and please trust your body, because this is like Patty said, she wanted to learn a belly dancing and the body was like, pole, get me to the pole class. So what would it take for you to trust that inner desire, burning desire of your body that you've been like probably suppressing and squishing? It's like, shut up, don't talk to me, I'm not good enough, I'm not enough, and like really trusted it and let it out. So what would it create for you? And if you have still any doubts about it, look into the future. What will it create for your future? Truth. If I participate in this class, if I take this class, how will my life be like 5 years from now? How will my body be like 5 years from now? How will it expand? I like to ask, will it expand my life? Will it contribute to my life? Will it make me money? Because guess what? If you show up in the world carrying your body, wearing your body with so much sexualness and yumminess and owning the magic of it, you will make more money. Hire you, pay you just to be in your presence and come to your sessions, come to your classes, or buy your products, whatever you're doing in the world. Like, we don't really get in this reality how important our bodies are. We think, maybe if we just put nice clothes on, that's it. It's not. You can really wear a potato sack and be a total invitation.
Someone said that to me once. They were like, you could be wearing a burqa. Yeah. It's not about what you wear. It's not. No. It's about who you be. It's that space of being that we really need to step into, And what invitation could this class be for you to step into that space of being? And if this is not for you, that's cool. It isn't for everyone. It really isn't. I know it isn't. I know that I have created something that not many people are able to choose right now, and that's totally okay, you know? But if your body lights up and your body's like, please, I would just, you know, choice creates. So what would you like to choose today? And what would you like to create for your life and for your future? Yeah.
And
How does it
yes,
get better than that?
and thank you, Patty, for this, because even if you don't choose it, it's not necessarily you have to come to the class. Maybe you like in the other part of the world and it's not an option at this point. I I can perceive that we really gave you some different perspective on your body, on how can you be with your body and what is possible with the body, the communion with the body that can actually create so much more for your life. Because since you're already on the planet, you chose the body. Why neglect it? Why treat it, you know, like you would never treat your best friend or a friend or anybody else? Because that's how we treat our bodies. We're the kindest, the nicest people to everybody else, but to ourselves, not so much.
And, you know, finding that kindness and that caring energy for you, obviously this is something that really was a contribution to me with the pole dancing, because when I dance, it's kind of like, at first it's just for me, just for fun, and I'm sort of in my own reality with my body, and I tune into my body and what feels good, how, what body, how do you want to move right now, that honoring, right, that you have with your body. When you can find that really for you, it's so much easier to find it with others and then demand it from others, demand it from this reality, from the universe, that caring, that honoring, that trust, that allowance. All of those things are things that come up, you know, around this class. And there's so many things to be explored and looked at and played with. And it's really just a lot of fun.
And also class is always created by the participants in the class, through their questions, through their requests, through their demands to the universe, and a facilitator as well. So it's like, what if you could be the greatest contribution, and maybe your judgment of you could open up different possibilities for other people, because maybe they wouldn't ask the question, maybe they would not come out with that, you know, comment. So like what if you could be the contribution to the masses, to everybody around you, whether in a class or not, it doesn't really matter. But we don't really see it, that just by being us, being the yumminess that we can be and magic we can be, you can go to the store and buy milk and bread and change someone's life just by being next to them, through your vibrations, through your being. And so this is our invitation for you to start acknowledging you for the magic that you truly, truly, truly be.
Yeah. Yay! How does it get better than that? So Gosia, do you have any other questions? I know that you've been saying about, as my host, like you're aware of the energy, but you just weren't really sure, clear, like the energy is calling you, so it's a yes for you. Is there anything else that is coming up right now for you about this class and creating it and having it? And
you know, I was always aware that I'm not expressing myself and my body fully. And growing up in communistic Poland, in, you know, Catholic society, there's so much judgment. So I still find so many pieces and parts in somewhere in my universe. They're coming from that times, coming from that cultures, from those roots. So I always had a awareness that I am locked down on many levels when it comes to that self-expression and being the sexualness and being, you know, this walking, talking yumminess. And so this is what I kept perceiving about that class, that it could be a huge, amazing contribution to me, to my body. Because even if it looks good, it's still, there is inside so many places that it could just feel better and greater and more expansive and more natural, for the lack of a better word, because I know this yummy state that you're talking about is now our natural state of being, which most of the people on the planet never come to because of this judgment. So this is what I'm getting more and more, and that's why, you know, I always choose classes. Cuckoo clock again.
Cuckoo. We started with a cuckoo clock. We're gonna end with a cuckoo clock.
I always choose classes more like yes. And I don't really like, I don't know why, it doesn't matter why, it's just I know I need to be there, I know my body wants to be there, I know it will change something, and it will contribute to me. I just don't question my awareness. So for me, it's always a yes. This is how I went to my first bars class. I didn't even know the name of it. I just knew it's like, yes, that, I want that, when, how much, where. Yeah, so this is how I'm choosing. I know people very often have to analyze things more. That's not the case for me. I'm blonde and Polish.
Awesome. Well, I just wanted to check in and make sure that, you know, your questions had been looked at and answered. And whoever is watching here and in the future, I invite you to come and play with us. I invite you to a new possibility with you and your body. And how does it get better than that?
How it does. Thank you so much, Patty, for this time with us, for giving us this completely new energy of possibility with the bodies, with the pole as well. Pole. Pole on the pole.
That's I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. You'll see. Well, you know, maybe we'll do a Google Hangout after the class. Hey. So that you can tell everyone, you know, what it was like for you and all that. That would be fun. I'd like to see that.
I love it. Yes. And maybe you could invite some participants that will choose it. So, hey. Right? And what?
We'll see, choice creates, people. Choice creates. You just got to keep choosing something.
So anytime, contact us. You can find us on Facebook. You have our websites underneath you, or most likely our friend already, so you know how to find us. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call Patty or contact Patty or me. We will be there for you, and you are invited to a different.
Awesome. Yeah. Yay! We'll see you all around the globe. Have a good one. Bye.